Madridistas, tomorrow is the second leg of the Copa del Rey semifinals as Real Madrid faces off against Real Sociedad at home in the Santiago Bernabeu, with the winner advancing to the final to either face off against Atletico Madrid or Barcelona. We are either going to be having a Madrid derby or an El Clasico final, but that is only if Real Madrid has what it takes to get to the next round. So guys, in this video, we're going to be previewing the matchup, telling you some of my thoughts coming into this game, what my starting 11 looks like. Do I want to be resting players? Do I want to be starting all the normal starters out there? I'll be discussing that, and of course, my official match prediction. But before we get started, if you're new around here, I'm Dally with Dallyfc. I cover all things Real Madrid. At the end of the video, if you like the content, please hit that subscribe button. Right now, guys, smash that like button, helps me out a ton, and let me know in the comments what's your official match prediction between Real Madrid and Real Sociedad. So Madridistas, coming into this game, what has it looked like the last time? It was way back when. All the way back to February 26th was the last time we actually faced off against Real Sociedad in this competition. And if you don't remember, don't worry, I had to go back and remember myself. The last time we faced off against them, it was 1-0 win with Endrick getting on the board. And if you guys don't remember that, it was a beautiful, beautiful pass from Jude Bellingham to Endrick. First touch from Endrick, puts into the back of the net. But otherwise, it was kind of a shitty game. That's kind of how it was. And realistically, too, Lunin saved us so much in that game. And we are going to be needing Lunin as well because, unfortunately, the news came out earlier today. If you're not following me on Twitter, what are you doing? Follow me on Twitter. I'm telling you guys what's going to be happening right before Lunin is going to be getting the start because Courtois, once again, back-to-back games now, he is not with the squad. So he's not even going to be on the bench for this team against Real Sociedad coming up. So Andre Lunin will be getting the start, and he was a huge, huge part of the last one for us. He could have been your man of the match, depending on how you looked at it. He had 6 saves in there, and they weren't just like normal saves, too. These were goals that probably should have been goals if you're any other keeper. Lunin was absolutely fantastic, and we will need Lunin to be fantastic once again in this one. But, when we take a look at this game, how is Real Sociedad doing? I always like to take a look, the last 5 games. Well, unfortunately for them, the last 5 games have not been that good. It was a 1-1 draw with Manchester United. They lost to Sevilla. It was 4-1. They got smashed by them. 2-2 against Rayo Vallecano. And then they just beat a team who is at the bottom of the table in Real Valladolid. So right now, when we take a look at Real Sociedad, they're in 10th place. They're a middle table team in La Liga. Again, they just beat a team that's at the bottom. That's got 16 points. That's 100% going to be relegated. But this is actually a team that is pretty talented. Zubimendi is on that team. Name might sound familiar. It might be a name that we might be cheering on very soon. We'll be talking about Zubimendi more in the future if anything actually comes from that. If you guys don't know, Zubimendi and Real Madrid, we are linked together right now. That might be something that's happening. But another name that might be familiar as well is Kubo. Kubo is a baller. At one point, we were thinking that we were going to be getting him, and we thought it was going to be the Japanese Messi. That's what they were calling him at a time. He was still out there. And then I can never pronounce this guy's name, so I'm going to try it. Oyar Zabal. I get him in FIFA all the time. I've probably got like 30 cards of him. He's decently good as a striker. So we need to be looking out for some of those players because this is actually a pretty good team overall. And they have made it difficult for Real Madrid. Again, in the last one, it was only 1-0. This game easily could have been a 3-1 victory for Real Sociedad. So that is something I am a little nervous about this one. Now, when it comes to this game, I want to hear from you in the comments. Who do you want to be seeing in the starting 11? Because there's a couple different things that we can kind of be taking a look here. What did it look the last time we were out there against them? Well, this was actually a starting 11 that we put out there. It was Endrick, Arda Güler, Jude Bellingham, Vinny Jr., Camavinga, Ceballos, Raul Asensio, Tchouaméni, Rudiger, Fran Garcia, and Lunin. But a couple of things I want to remember here. First of all, Fede Valverde was not a part of the squad in the last one because he was still recovering, having played all those Champions Leagues, all those La Liga games. It finally kind of caught up with him, and so he missed a couple of games during this period. Another notable player who was out of this game was, of course, Courtois, but the bigger one was Kylian Mbappe was out of this game. He was not a part of the squad at all because it was emergency surgery that he got on a tooth extraction in that one. So you guys might not remember that, but that is why Kylian Mbappe was not with the squad. So when it came to this game, again, let me know in the comments, who do you want to be having in the starting 11? Do you want it to be the normal starting 11? The VMR up top, Jude Bellingham, stuff like that? Or do you think it's going to be a little bit more of a mix? Personally, to me, I think it's going to be a little more of a mix, and this is kind of my starting 11. I will explain it to you as well. Guys, right now, as you can see on the screen, this is my starting 11 that I will be having out there if I was Carlo Ancelotti. I am putting the 18-year-old Brazilian wonder kid up top. Endrick getting the start at that striker position. Vinny Jr. should be getting a start. Jude Bellingham in the middle. Rodrigo at the right wing. And then I'm going with Camavinga and Fede Valverde making up the midfield with Fran Garcia, Rudiger, Tchouaméni, Raul Asensio, and Lunin making up the back four and the goalkeeper spot. Now, a couple of thoughts, coming into this. Why am I putting Endrick up there and not Kylian Mbappe? We just saw Kylian Mbappe get a brace over the weekend. It was a fantastic game. And for you guys commenting, that was a free kick. That was a free kick goal. It is what it is. If you want to argue with me, don't argue with me. Look at the Cruz goal from 2018. Look at Fede Valverde's goals throughout the season. I don't care that you get an assist, that Fran Garcia gets an assist. That counts as a free kick. It counts as a free kick. It was his first free kick goal. The guy who runs the Twitter account saying, has Kylian Mbappe made a free kick yet? He needs to be deactivating the Twitter because that should count as a free kick. La Liga counted it, FotMob counted it, SofaScore, and Dallyfc counted it. That's all that matters at the end of the day. But you might be wondering, why am I not putting Kylian Mbappe out there? Well, we got to see over the weekend that Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo and Fede Valverde did not start. I want to be starting some of these players and then giving Kylian Mbappe a little bit of a rest. I do expect Kylian Mbappe to be playing in this game at some point. He might be starting, but I just have that feeling. Carlo Ancelotti was tweeting out, he wasn't tweeting it, Fabrizio Romano was tweeting out in the press conference today saying that Endrick has a real good chance to play in this game. I think he's going to be starting. Personally, to me, I think he's going to be starting. I would love to be seeing Kylian Mbappe out there along with Endrick, but I really think this is a game that hopefully Vinny and Rodrigo can kind of start, taking that next level because we need them to gain some confidence out there. And I think for them to be gaining confidence, they need to be getting some minutes in this one. A couple of keys to the game for me is the up top, guys. It's the Brazilians, baby. Vinny Jr., Endrick, and Rodrigo. I need them to be at their best in this game. I think Endrick, he scored in the last one against Real Sociedad. He had a good couple of chances in the last one. Vinny Jr. in the last one had a good couple of chances too. But the thing with Vinny, he's just not had a good 2025. It is what it is with Vinny. I think this is a game that Vinny should have a fantastic game. He did look a little explosive in the last one for Real Madrid, but he is just coming back from international break. And the same thing goes with Rodrigo. We saw what Rodrigo can do in those games against Atletico Madrid, but we need him to be better. And especially if we're going to be achieving everything that I think we can still achieve. I'm talking La Liga. I'm talking the Copa Del Rey. I'm hoping that we can win this trophy. And I'm, of course, talking Champions League. We need Vinny. We need Rodrigo to step it up. And I would love to have Endrick be somebody that might be reliable toward the end of the season. Maybe we can be bringing him on against an Arsenal. Maybe we can be bringing on against Barcelona later in the year in May as well toward the end of the season. That's really what I want to be seeing from them. Now, the other players I want to be talking about is this back four. This is kind of a different back four, and I kind of want to explain it. First of all, Fran Garcia is 100% going to be starting in this game. There's zero doubts in my mind. Ferland Mendy is out still with injury. He might be back for the Arsenal game. Same thing with Dani Ceballos, but I 100% believe Fran Garcia. I could see Rudiger maybe not starting, and maybe it's an Alaba pairing with the Tchouaméni, something like that. I didn't want to really be putting Tchouaméni out here. I just, at the same time, this was, the starting 11 that we saw for them in the back four. This is the same back four, same back five that we saw. That is why I do think this is kind of what we will be going with. I thought Tchouaméni, he's been very good this season, in my opinion, especially in 2025. The stats might not tell you that, but no matter if he's been playing center back or he's been playing the CDM role, I thought he's been very good. Raul Asensio at that right back position, it's not my first choice when it comes to Raul Asensio. I love Raul Asensio, but he is not a right back. He picked up a yellow card in the last one. He gets kind of caught out sometimes, even though he has incredible pace and incredible just like football knowledge out there. Right back's not his position. He is a right center back. I think he's very good at that position. But are you going to be putting Vasquez out there too? I don't think Vasquez was awful in the last one, but at the same time, I think he can kind of bring a spark later in the game if we need something. Again, coming into this game, we are up 1-0 against Real Sociedad in aggregate. So that is a good thing, and we are at home in the Santiago Bernabeu, so that should help as well. But the thing I wanted to mention with this back four, there's a comfortability that we kind of have sometimes when Thibaut Courtois is back there that we do not have with Luna. And what do I mean by that exactly? With Rudiger, with Tchouaméni, with Raul Asensio, with Fran Garcia, they know what Courtois is going to do. Courtois knows what they're going to do. They don't have that same connection with Luna, and that's just because they're not playing all the time together. And Luna's just not playing all the time. I could see in this game that we might have a mix-up, that we might have a miscommunication. And especially since we saw in the last one, Real Sociedad, they create chances and they just haven't been finishing. I could see them creating a couple chances in this game. And unfortunately, probably finishing a couple chances as well, which I don't really want to happen. But when it comes to my official match prediction in this game, first of all, again, guys, we are up 1-0 on aggregate, but that can go away like that. We saw what happened in the second leg of the Atletico Madrid match in the Champions League. I don't want that to happen. I want us to go out there firing again. That is why I am putting Vinny Jr. I am putting Jude Bellingham. I'm putting Rodrigo. I'm putting Fede Valverde. Stuff like that. If things aren't going well, we need to be switching quickly. I don't want us waiting until the 80th minute when the game's like tied or if Real Sociedad's up 1-0. Because unfortunately, we just don't kill these teams off. We just don't end the game. You look at Barcelona and you have to give them credit. And you got to give Hansi Flick credit too. He's killing these games. He's ending it. He's not making us all sweat and be super nervous toward the end of the game. He's winning 4-1, 5-1 in some of these games. It doesn't matter. That's what this Real Madrid team has to do. Unfortunately, I don't trust Carlo Ancelotti in that. If we are going to be successful in this game, we need to be quick, we need to be decisive, and we need to be finishing at the highest level in this game. I do think this team is too talented, but I do think we will give up at least 1 goal, maybe even 2 goals in this game. But at the same time, I do think that this team, again, is too talented, and we will be advancing to the final to face off against either Atletico Madrid or Barcelona. So for my official match prediction, guys, I will be going with a 3-1 victory for Real Madrid, 4-1 in aggregate. I will say Vinny finally, hopefully, starts what should be a hot streak moving forward. I think Vinny gets on the board. I think Endrick gets on the board. And I'm going with a bangers only, guys. Fede Valverde will get a banger only in this game. Guys, that is my official match prediction. So, guys, let me know in the comments what's your official match prediction. Love to hear from you. Really quick, guys, shout out to all the members. Appreciate you guys all so much. If you guys made it to the end of the video, if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Like the video as well, guys. And I will see you after the match as well. Guys, Dally with Dallyfc. Cheers. Real Madrid.